Hey everyone, we're taking a trip down memory lane with the unforgettable cast of Sanford and Son. Remember all those hilarious arguments between Fred and Lamont Sanford? It's been a while since they closed the junkyard doors, so we're curious to see what the cast has been up to in 2024. Get ready for some real names, ages, and a glimpse into their lives these days. Let's see what they've been up to. Number 1. Red Fox as Fred Sanford. Fred Sanford can be a grouch for sure, always grumbling and picking fights. But beneath all that grumpiness, there's a real ham hiding. Fred loves himself a good show, and he'll lay it on thick, like way thicker than butter on toast, to get a reaction. His signature move? Faking a heart attack. Classic Fred. Pulls it out every time he wants something from Lamont, especially when he knows Lamont can't stand to see his pops all worked up. Red Fox, the iconic comedian who gave life to Fred Sanford, wasn't always destined for comedic greatness. Born John Elroy Sanford in 1922, poverty marked his early life. His now famous stage name stemmed from his ruddy complexion, a far cry from the spotlight he'd later bathe in. At 13, Fox's journey began with a washboard and a band, traversing the country for a brief stint. By 16, he landed in New York City, honing his comedic talents at black theaters and clubs. There he even crossed paths with the influential Malcolm X. This NYC phase propelled him towards Los Angeles, where his initial stand-up record only fetched a meager 25. The turning point arrived in 1972. Norman Lear saw Fox's potential and created Sanford and Son, inspired by a British sitcom. Here, Fox's portrayal of Fred G. Sanford became legendary. His comedic brilliance captivated audiences until his 1977 departure. Fox didn't stop there. The Red Fox Show showcased his continued talent, and his final project, The Royal Family, featured him as Alfonso Royale. Red Fox's ascent from humble beginnings to comedic icon left an indelible mark. His legacy continues to inspire and entertain audiences today. Fred Sanford played by Red Fox when he was 50 years old. Sadly, on October 11, 1991, during a break from rehearsals for The Royal Family, Fox suffered a heart attack on the set. Number 2. Demon Wilson as Lamont Sanford. Lamont's the voice of reason in this wacky world. When everyone else is losing their minds, he stays calm and collected, like the eye of a hurricane. You can always count on Lamont to bring some logic to the craziest situations. He's not afraid to ask for help when he needs it, which is a pretty big deal. Lamont shows everyone that it's okay to admit you can't do it all on your own, and that there's no shame in lending a hand or asking for one in return. Demon Wilson, best known for his role as the level-headed Lamont Sanford on the iconic sitcom Sanford and Son, NBC 1971-1977, brought much more than just reactions to Red Fox's comedic brilliance. Wilson's dry wit and strong presence perfectly complemented his on-screen father, making their dynamic a cornerstone of the show's success. While Sanford and Son became his signature role, Wilson's career extended beyond this peak. However, later acting endeavors didn't achieve the same level of fame. This led him down a different path in 1984, when he became an ordained minister, embarking on a new chapter centered on faith. Despite this shift, Wilson's impactful performance in Sanford and Son continues to resonate with audiences, solidifying his place in television history. His legacy extends beyond the sitcom, showcasing a talented actor who found success and personal fulfillment beyond the traditional Hollywood mold. Lamont Sanford played by Demon Wilson when he was 26 years old, and now he is 78 years old. Number 3. LaWanda Page as Aunt Anderson Esther, Fred Sanford's resident pain in the neck, was a church lady through and through. Bible-thumping and always ready for a rumble, verbally speaking at least, she'd show up at Fred's doorstep with her church crew or her tipsy husband, Woodrow, in tow. Esther had this weird sixth sense for church fundraising whenever Fred's pockets felt a little heavier, which never failed to leave him grumbling. LaWanda Page's legacy extends far beyond the iconic Aunt Esther character. Though bidding farewell to that role, she remained a captivating presence on screens, gracing audiences with her signature blend of sass and wisdom. While she often portrayed variations of the outspoken older woman, her comedic talent consistently delivered laughter laced with thought-provoking moments. However, LaWanda Page's artistic journey began well before Sanford and Son. In the 1960s, she established a name for herself in the African-American comedy scene, known for her raw and risque stand-up routines on Party Records. Her comedic style resonated with fans, drawing comparisons to the legendary Mom Mabley. Even after Sanford ended, including its short-lived spin-off, LaWanda Page continued to thrive. She graced both television shows and films, often embodying variations of her established persona, the sassy and outspoken woman with a sharp wit. From her role in Ice Cube's Friday to a recurring part on Martin Lawrence's acclaimed sitcom Martin, her comedic talents continued to shine. Aunt Anderson played by LaWanda Page when she was 53 years old. Unfortunately, Page died of a heart attack at age 81 following complications from diabetes on September 14, 2002. Number 4. Don Bexley as Bubba Bexley. Don Bexley? That name practically screams funny. And on Sanford and Son, he lived up to the hype. Bexley, as the character Bubba, wasn't just another funny guy on the show, he was a laugh riot. His jokes and humor were one of a kind, leaving audiences in stitches and making Bubba unforgettable. When the original stars of Sanford and Son left the show, NBC wanted to keep the laughs coming, so they created the Sanford Arms, a spin-off series. And guess who they brought along? You guessed it, Don Bexley. Bexley, along with the rest of the new cast, brought a whole new wave of hilarious moments and characters that fans loved. Don Bexley's legacy extends beyond his memorable role as Bubba Bexley on Sanford and Son. The on-screen friendship between Bubba and Fred Sanford mirrored their genuine camaraderie in real life, despite a surprising age difference. Bexley was actually 12 years older than Fox. Bexley was a trailblazer. He shattered barriers as the first black stand-up comedian to perform at the prestigious Mountain Hotel. His career blossomed on both coasts, gracing theaters in New York City and Los Angeles. Following his success on Sanford and Son, Bexley remained active on television. He appeared in the spin-off series Sanford Arms and popular shows like Cheers, Hunter, and T.J. Hooker. He even reunited with Red Fox for the latter's final show, The Royal Family, playing the role of Elston. Bexley's early achievements included extensive travel across Europe and Asia. However, his friend Red Fox called him back to the States for their 1969 film, Cotton Comes to Harlem. This reconnection ultimately led to Bexley joining the cast of Sanford and Son in 1971, solidifying his place in television history. Bubba Bexley played by Don Bexley when he was 62 years old. Sadly, Bexley died of heart and kidney failure on April 15, 1997 at Hampton Centara Hospital. He was 87 years old. Number 5. Whitman Mayo as Grady Wilson. Before he was freaking out as Grady Wilson, Red Fox's best bud on Sanford and Son, Whitman was already doing his thing at the famous Lafayette Theater in Harlem. Back then, he popped up on a bunch of TV shows, but usually in smaller roles. Even though he was all over the place in entertainment, Grady Wilson became his signature role, kind of like peanut butter gets stuck to the roof of your mouth. It was hard to break free from that and show everyone else what he could do as an actor. Don Bexley's legacy goes beyond just being Bubba Bexley on Sanford and Son. The warmth of their on-screen friendship mirrored their real-life bond, even though Bexley was surprisingly 12 years older than Red Fox. Bexley's life was filled with firsts. He was a pioneer, breaking ground as the first black stand-up comedian to perform at the renowned Mountain Hotel. His career flourished on both coasts, gracing stages in New York City and Los Angeles. Born in Jamestown, Virginia on March 10, 1910, Bexley came from a talented family. His father was a biblical scholar and his mother, a classical violinist. His friendships with Red Fox and Slappy White blossomed during their days touring black theaters and nightclubs in New York City. Interestingly, Bexley wasn't just friends with White. He also once danced alongside the legendary Sammy Davis Jr. Bexley's early success opened doors for him to travel extensively across Europe and Asia. However, his friend Red Fox called him back to the United States for their 1969 film Cotton Comes to Harlem. This reunion ultimately led to Bexley joining the cast of Sanford and Son in 1971, solidifying his place in television history. Grady Wilson played by Whitman Mayo when he was 43 years old. Sadly, Mayo died of a heart attack on May 22, 2001, at Atlanta's Grady Memorial Hospital. He was 70 years old. Number 6. Nathaniel Taylor as Rolo Larson. Rollo's got Lamont's back, through thick and thin. Sure, Fred might yell at him sometimes, but Rolo sticks to Lamont like glue. He's not perfect, he's seen some things on the streets, but he's trying to turn things around. Rollo's a mix of smarts and charisma, with a hint of softness that peeks through now and then. Nathaniel Taylor, the man who brought the unforgettable Rolo Larson to life on Sanford and Son, left an undeniable mark as the epitome of cool on our screens. His smooth demeanor, slick style, and infectious humor had us yearning for a friend just as effortlessly groovy. Sadly, Nathaniel Taylor passed away, leaving behind a cherished legacy of laughter and cherished moments. Beyond his iconic role, Taylor shared a close friendship with his on-screen counterpart, the legendary Red Fox. Interestingly, Taylor's acting career began just a year before Fox's, making him a seasoned television actor by the time they became co-stars. Following his success on Sanford and Son, Taylor continued to grace our screens with appearances in various shows like What's Happening and The Red Fox Show. However, the cancellation of the latter prompted him to step back from the spotlight, choosing to focus on his personal life. Nathaniel Taylor spent his remaining years with his wife, Loretta Taylor, raising their 4 daughters and 3 sons. Their family grew even larger with the addition of 6 grandchildren and 7 great-grandchildren. Rolo Larson played by Nathaniel Taylor when he was 34 years old. Sadly, he died from the complications of heart attack on February 27, 2019 in Los Angeles at the age of 80. Number 7. Lynn Hamilton as Donna Harris. Donna's a keeper, caring, patient, and the ultimate voice of reason. Fred might get a little crazy with his ideas sometimes, but Donna's there to chill him out. It wasn't exactly love at first sight with Lamont, though. He was scared she'd take his mom's place. But Donna's real love for Fred and her down-to-earth way of doing things eventually warmed Lamont up to her. Mississippi-born Lynn Hamilton is a veteran character actress with an impressive career spanning over 60 films and television shows. Her journey began with a humble role in the critically acclaimed 1959 John Cassavetes film, Shadows. However, it wasn't until a decade later that she'd become a regular face on our screens, marking the true beginning of a remarkable career. The 1970s saw Hamilton land guest spots on various well-known shows like Mannix, Gunsmoke, and even The Bill Cosby Show. Her breakthrough came in 1972 with a recurring role on the iconic sitcom Sanford and Son. The following year, she seamlessly juggled that role with a semi-regular part in the family drama The Waltons, showcasing her acting versatility. In 1979, she joined the cast of Roots: The Next Generations, further solidifying her presence in the industry. Throughout the following decades, Hamilton remained a tireless actress. She tackled diverse projects, from single-episode appearances in shows like The Golden Girls and NYPD Blue to more substantial roles in sitcoms like 227 and the legal drama The Practice. Remarkably, her passion for acting continued well into her 70s. Donna Harris played by Lynn Hamilton when she was 42 years old, and now she is 93 years old. Number 8. Hal Williams as Officer Smith Smitty's the ideal version of a good cop. Professional, patient, and understanding of people from all walks of life. When his partners, Swanee and Hoppy, get a little carried away, Smitty's the voice of reason, keeping things calm. He can translate police talk into regular folks' language and understand street slang, too. Basically, Smitty's the glue that holds this wacky cop trio together. Hal Williams, distinguished by his tall stature, distinctive mustache, and endearing on-screen presence, became a familiar face on 1970s and 1980s television. Frequently cast in roles as relatable everyday individuals caught up in chaotic scenarios, Williams often revealed a warm and lovable nature. One of his most iconic roles was portraying Lester Jenkins, the husband navigating the challenges posed by a building filled with meddling women, including his wife, played by Marla Gibbs, in the delightful NBC sitcom 227. This late 80s hit show showcased his comedic talent and affable charm, solidifying his status as a beloved actor on television during that era. Officer Smith played by Hal Williams when he was 34 years old, and now he is 85 years old. Number 9. Howard Platt as Officer Hoppy. Hopkins, the coolest cop around, never takes off his shades. Dude's got swagger like nobody's business, and his dance moves could even make Michael Jackson jealous. Even when Fred goes nuts, Hopkins stays chill. He's got nerves of steel for sure, but deep down he's a good guy. Always there to lend a hand, Hopkins keeps the neighborhood safe. Basically the real-life hero with the smoothest moves. Howard Platt's career is a masterclass in versatility. While many may recognize him as the comedic Officer Hoppy on Sanford and Son, his talent extends far beyond that iconic role. Television viewers have been graced by Platt's presence in a multitude of shows, from guest appearances to series regular roles. He brought Dr. Phil Newman to life in The Bob Newhart Show, tackled the role of Max in Alice, and served as Major Ted Spector in the classic series MASH. His comedic timing also shone in Evening Shade as Judge Jonathan Stockfish. Most impressively, Platt managed to portray a whopping 5 different characters on the show Barney Miller. Platt's talents haven't been limited to the small screen. He's also graced audiences with his presence in films like T.R. Baskin, Nixon, The Cat from Outer Space, and Norma Jean and Marilyn. Howard Platt's extensive career is a testament to his remarkable range and ability to excel in both comedic and dramatic roles, solidifying his place as a truly versatile actor. Officer Hoppy Hopkins played by Howard Platt when he was 34 years old, and now he is 85 years old. Number 10. Gregory Sierra as Julio Fuentes. Julio, the junkyard owner next door, keeps things lively with Fred. They trade friendly jabs and compete in a playful way. Julio's quick wit makes their banter hilarious, and his comebacks are always on point. He's a friendly and welcoming guy who shares a real bond with Fred. They're always up for each other's schemes, and their easygoing interactions make Julio a well-liked and memorable character in the neighborhood. Gregory Sierra's career was a testament to his versatility. Though recognized for his portrayal of Latino characters, his talent transcended typecasting. He became a familiar face in the 1970s and early 1980s with iconic roles like Julio Fuentes on Sanford and Son, Detective Sergeant Chano Amenguale on Barney Miller, and the unforgettable El Puerco on the outrageous sitcom Soap. Sierra's journey began on the big screen with a surprising first role as a gorilla in Beneath the Planet of the Apes, 1970. This was quickly followed by a role alongside Dustin Hoffman in Getting Straight, that same year. In 1973, he met a dramatic demise as Carlos the bartender in The Towering Inferno, showcasing his range in both comedic and dramatic scenes. Throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, Sierra continued to thrive, primarily in television movies and feature films. He tackled diverse projects like the miniseries Something Is Out There, the TV movie Donor, and feature films spanning various genres including Deep Cover, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, Hot Shots, Part Deux, and A Low-Down Dirty Shame. Gregory Sierra's legacy extends far beyond his characters. He leaves behind a filmography that showcases his exceptional talent and ability to bring depth to every role, solidifying his place as a remarkable character actor. Julio Fuentes played by Gregory Sierra when he was 35 years old. Sadly, Sierra died on January 4, 2021, after a long battle with stomach and liver cancer, 3 weeks before his 84th birthday. Number 11. Fritzy Burr as Woman on Plane. Fritzy Burr's journey to Hollywood wasn't a straight shot. She honed her comedic skills for 2 decades, performing stand-up and sketch comedy before gracing the Broadway stage in the hit musical Funny Girl. Her comedic timing translated well to television, where she landed her first role in 1970 on That Girl. This marked the beginning of a prolific television career, with Burr amassing over 50 roles across 45 different series. She brought her comedic talents to shows like What's Happening and Sanford and Son, becoming a familiar face in sitcoms of the 70s. While television became her primary focus, Burr also ventured into film. Though her filmography is smaller, it includes a memorable role in Jackie Gleason's romantic comedy How Do I Love Thee, and a notable appearance in Roman Polanski's neo-noir classic Chinatown. Fritzy Burr's career path, though not conventional, showcased her versatility and comedic talent. She left her mark on both television and film, entertaining audiences with her humor and presence. Woman on a Plane played by Fritzy Burr when she was 50 years old. Sadly, Burr died in Fort Myers, Florida of natural causes on January 17, 2003. She was 78. Number 12. Raymond Allen as Uncle Woodrow Woody Anderson. Raymond Allen was a busy actor in the 1970s. You might remember him from shows like Good Times, where he played Ned the Wino, or maybe you saw him as Woodrow Woody Anderson, Aunt Esther's husband on Sanford and Son. He also played Mechanic Merle the Earl on Starsky and Hutch. He wasn't just in those shows, though. He appeared on many others, including The Jeffersons and What's Happening. Uncle Woodrow Woody Anderson was played by Raymond Allen when he was 45 years old. Sadly, Allen died in August 2020 from a respiratory illness in California at the age of 91. The legacy of Sanford and Son and its iconic characters lives on. Their hilarious antics brought laughter to our homes for years. What are your favorite memories of the show? Comment down below to let us know, and we will see you on the next video.